And from that, we move on to our weekly showcase of Nigerians doing amazing things at home and abroad. Check me out. Now, growing up, Omobola Imoisili was fascinated by stories filled with magic and fantasies. Today, she has written magical children's books featuring African fairies. Let's check her out.
Hi, I am Omobola Imoisili. I'm an entrepreneur and a writer. I write under the name Simisayo Brownstone. Check me out. Growing up in Nigeria was lots of fun. There were a lot of people around. I always lived in neighborhoods where there were a lot of kids. You obviously have to focus on your academics. Exam time, your parents are always like on you to get A's. What took me out of the country was education. So I went to the University of Reading to study computer science. Everything was different there. The schools were different, the people were different. The food was different. I remember like complaining that we were eating potatoes every day. The money I was getting was not quite enough. So I decided, okay, let me go and start, working so I can earn a little bit more money. And so I just started asking around, and my very first job was in a petrol station. It only lasted maybe 3 weeks because it just was so far away. For me, I had to walk miles and miles and miles to get there. But then from that, I was able to get my next job and then my next job and my next job. So when I was in the UK, I met my husband, and he lived in the US at the time. He was studying abroad. He was doing an international exchange program in the UK, so that's how we met in the UK. And I'd always decided I wanted to do my MBA, and because he lived in America, in California, that made my decision to study my master's in business administration in Los Angeles a lot easier. I'd always wanted to be a writer since I was the age of 10. And my mother always said, one of my children is going to be a writer, one of them is going to be a politician. So I'm the writer, my sister has to take the politician part up. I believe that there's so many beautiful African stories and folklore and legends that I think anybody around the world can enjoy. So I've written a series, and the series is called Feyi Fay. There's 2 books out in the series right now. I like to think of my books as fantasy adventure, very similar to like your Disney movies, which have a global kind of appeal, but it has a little bit of African culture woven into it to kind of give that African focus. It's all about facing your fears, bravery, stepping out into the unknown, and just taking those chances. And I think that's the real key lesson that you learn from this book. My name is Omobola Imoisili. I'm an entrepreneur and a writer. I write under the name Simisayo Brownstone, and you just checked me out.